My girlfriend was going to leave me, but I saved our relationship by putting in way more effort. Hey all, I just wanted to get this off my chest and perhaps help someone who might need help, or maybe even open the eyes of people who didn't know they needed help. So let's take it from the top. I met my girlfriend Alice, 29F, at a concert 6 years ago. She was seated in front of me, and we just got to chatting and decided to swap numbers. After an amazing first date, it wasn't too much longer until we were Insta official and then 2 years later, moving in together. Then COVID happened. I lost my job, was pissed off, and drinking way too much because I was enjoying unemployment and the stimuli. Point is, I became a shitty boyfriend and shitty person, and Alice was unfortunately my victim. Nothing physical or mental, of course, just half-bottoming my relationship and having her take care of my drunk ass far more than anyone ever needed to. This went on for a year. What can I say other than I was young and really stupid? It thankfully turned around when Alice confided in my mother that she was very upset with my drinking and not putting in effort into the relationship. Thankfully my mother turned to the one person who could knock some sense into me, and that was my dad. I take my parents' opinions very seriously, and in this particular case, my dad's opinion was fact. You see, my parents are divorced, and it was largely because my dad took my mom for granted. He expected a 50s trad wife and mom wasn't going for it. It took until the divorce being finalized for my dad to realize the mistakes he made in his marriage, and it's something I don't think he's ever really gotten over, even though he's had a long-term girlfriend. Anyway, Dad called me over to his house and told me that I needed to get my act together because Alice wanted to leave me and he didn't want me to make the same mistakes he did. I couldn't believe it at first, but I guess after some deep introspection, I realized I was fucking up. So I decided to get my act together. I sat Alice down one evening and apologized for how I was acting, and that I wanted to not only make it up to her, but become the boyfriend she deserved. She was skeptical to say the least, but said she loved me and if she saw genuine improvement, then she'd have no reason to leave. So I got my act together. I read article after article on being a better boyfriend, I scoured Reddit dating subs for tips, and most importantly, I asked Alice what she needed from me. I started by picking up 70% of the housework, just a guesstimation, which she really appreciated. Then I started being more spontaneous and took her out on dates to some of her favorite places once the world started to reopen. Most importantly, I just started listening to her, enjoying her company and presence, and just generally, falling in love with her all over again. Alice was rightfully skeptical at first, and didn't open up to me. But I think she eventually saw how much effort I was putting into being better and my sincerity, so she eventually came around. It started with more smiles, and then more effort being put in on her side as well. She even started wrangling some of the housework back, saying I didn't have to work so hard. I told her that I didn't mind. And then something weird happened. She started touching me more, like a lot more. She stole random kisses, back hugs, and smacking my bottom randomly. It was like how it was in the beginning of our relationship. Not least of all, her sex drive went way up, to the point where she wanted it multiple times a day on occasion. I felt bad at first because I didn't want it to seem like I was just doing all this for sex or whatever, but my therapist told me she just feels more valued and loved now that she sees my effort, and a byproduct of that is her sex drive has gone up. Also, during this whole time I seriously cut back on my drinking. Now instead of killing a 30 rack in a few days, plus spending some nights at the bar with the brothers, I'd be down to 3 beers one night a week with the brothers and cutting out hard liquor. I think Alice really appreciated this change the most. It wasn't easy in the slightest, and it takes a lot of discipline and mind over matter to not drink as much, but I'm happy I made this change. Once I cut back I realized I should start living healthier too, so I started eating a little cleaner and started working out. Lo and behold, I lost 30 pounds in just over a year and toned up my body some. I'm sure this helped Alice's sex drive a lot, lol. Oh, and I got a new job as well. I can confidently say that me and Alice have never been better. We've started house hunting and are looking to start a family in the next few years. We're both so happy, and it's all because I realized I had to put more effort into my relationship and make my partner feel like they were special. So I'll close by telling anyone reading this, please make your partner feel loved and valued. They deserve nothing less, but also remember that you deserve nothing less than your partner's very best.